Today, we are diving into one of the most incredible symbolic events in the entire Bible. It's the epic 12-day dedication of the tabernacle from Numbers chapter 7. And let me tell you, this is not just a long list of gifts. No, this is a cinematic story of absolute unity, precise obedience, and the amazing moment God actually moves in. I want you to just picture this for a second. After all that work, all the craftsmanship and construction, the tabernacle, this beautiful, sacred, mobile home for God's presence, is finally done. It's standing right there in the heart of the Israelite camp, brand new. You can just feel the excitement in the air, right? The people built the house, but how do you officially hand over the keys to God? Well, what they did next was truly unforgettable. So here's how we're going to walk through this incredible ceremony. First, we'll see the sanctuary get prepped and made holy. Then, we'll look at a really practical gift for the crew that had to move this massive thing. After that, we dive into the main event, the marathon 12-day procession of offerings. We'll add up the jaw-dropping final tally of all the gifts. And then, we get to the climax, God's response from the very heart of the sanctuary. Okay, let's get into it. All right, first things first. Before any of the big celebrations could begin, the space itself had to be officially set apart, made completely holy. Okay, let's kick things off with verse 1. This is where it all begins. It says that Moses, having set everything up, took the special anointing oil and consecrated the tabernacle and everything inside it. So just picture Moses moving with this quiet reverence through the brand new tabernacle. He's got this fragrant, sacred oil, and he touches the great bronze altar, the golden lampstand, the table, every single vessel and tool. And with each touch, it's like he's making it holy, officially setting it apart for God's service. You can almost see everything begin to shimmer, It's now officially sacred ground. Now check this out in verses 2 and 3. The tabernacle is ready, and the leaders of Israel, these 12 chiefs from the 12 tribes, they step forward. But here's the cool part. They don't come one by one to show off. Nope. They come together as one. And they present a joint offering, 6 heavy-duty covered wagons and 12 strong oxen. Just imagine that scene. 1 wagon for every 2 leaders and an ox for each man. Their very first act is one of perfect, practical unity. And what's so smart about this first gift is just how practical it is. Remember, the tabernacle was built to move, and these wagons and oxen were basically the moving trucks. But they weren't just handed out randomly. Oh no, there was a very specific plan. So in verses 4 through 8, we see God give Moses these very specific instructions. The Levites were the designated movers. So Moses gives 2 wagons and 4 oxen to the Gershonites. Their job was to carry the big tapestries and curtains. Then he gives 4 wagons and 8 oxen to the Merarites, because they had to haul the really heavy stuff, the framework, the boards, the pillars, all of it. The distribution was perfectly matched to the workload. But did you notice that last line? Why did the sons of Kohath get nothing? I mean, they were a huge part of the Levite crew, but they got 0 wagons, 0 oxen. Was that some kind of diss, a punishment? Not even close. It was actually the exact opposite. It was a sign of incredible honor. Verse 9 gives us this amazing answer. The job of the Kohathites was so holy, so crucial, that it couldn't be trusted to animals or wheels. Their job was to carry the most sacred objects, the Ark of the Covenant, the golden lampstand, the altar of incense. These things had to be carried on their own shoulders, using special poles. Sure, it was a heavy burden, but it was the highest honor you could get, a task that required human reverence and care. And now we get to the main event. Verses 10 and 11 lay out the game plan. The leaders are ready to dedicate the altar, and God tells Moses exactly how it's going to go down. They shall offer their offering, 1 liter each day, not all at once in a big rush, but a slow, deliberate 12-day procession. For 12 days straight, 1 leader representing 1 tribe would step forward. It started with Judah, the tribe of kings, and it just kept going, day after day, following the established order of the camp until every single tribe had its moment in the spotlight. So verses 12 through 17 break down that very first offering from Nahshon of the tribe of Judah, and his gift is specific and just magnificent. We're talking a heavy silver platter and a silver bowl, both filled with fine flour and oil, a small gold pan full of fragrant incense. Then come the animals: a young bull, a ram, and the lamb for the burnt offering, which signifies total devotion, a male goat for the sin offering for atonement, and finally animals for the peace offerings, which were all about fellowship and communion with God. Now remember this list. It's the blueprint. So, what happens next is the whole point of the story. On day 2, verses 18 through 23 tell us Nathanael from the tribe of Issachar steps up, and his offering, it's identical. On day 3, we see in verses 24 to 29 that Eliab of Zebulun came forward with, you guessed it, exactly the same gift. And the text then just marches us through day after day, leader after leader, verse after verse. Day 4, Elizur of Reuben, the same. Day 5, Shalumiel of Simeon, the same. Day 6, Eliasaph of Gad, identical. Day 7, Elishama of Ephraim, the same again. Day 8, Gamaliel of Manasseh, no variation. Day 9, Abidan of Benjamin, the same offering. Day 10, Ahiezer of Dan, perfect repetition. Day 11, Pagiel of Asher, still the same. And finally, on the 12th day, in verses 78 to 83, Ahira of Naphtali presents his gift, and it is exactly the same. You see, this repetition isn't just filler, it is the message. No tribe tried to one-up the other, no leader was more important. It was this powerful 12-day statement that in their devotion to God, all 12 tribes were equal. They were one nation, totally united in their worship. So after 12 days of this steady, rhythmic procession of identical gifts, the ceremony is finally complete. And now it's time to see the incredible cumulative power of their unified generosity. And wow, this table really shows the total. Let's look at the final tally in verses 84 to 88. We're talking 12 silver platters and 12 silver bowls, weighing 2,400 shekels. That's over 60 pounds of pure silver. 12 gold pans, 12 bowls for the burnt offering, 24 for the peace offering, and a grand total of 72 rams and 72 goats. I mean, when you see it all added up like this, what seemed like a daily gift becomes a treasure of immense scale. It's a testament to the collective heart of an entire nation. The people have done their part. The offerings are complete. The tabernacle has been dedicated with 12 days of perfect, unified worship. The crowds are quiet. The leaders have gone back to their tents. So, now what? Well, the final verse of this chapter is the most powerful of all. This brings us to the final, amazing moment in verse 89. Moses goes into the tabernacle of meeting to speak with God. Just imagine how quiet it is. The smell of incense and sacrifice is probably still hanging in the air. Moses walks past the altar, through the holy place, and stands before the veil that separates him from the most sacred space on earth. And then he hears it. The verse says he heard the voice speaking to him from above the mercy seat on the Ark of the Covenant, from between the 2 golden cherubim. This is the payoff. This is God's response. It wasn't a vision. It wasn't a dream. It was a voice, audible, real, coming from the very place where God's presence now lived, that empty space right between the angel's wings. The offering was accepted. The house was now a home. And that's where the chapter leaves us. It shows that when the people came together with one heart and one purpose, setting aside all competition, they created the very conditions necessary for God to speak. The result of their unity wasn't just a pile of silver and gold, it was an open line of communication. It just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What does that sound like? And what kind of unity does it take for us to hear it?